Welcome back, everybody, to Dashing with Flash. Skipping the usual intro in lieu of what time it is. I'm at the command center, as you can tell, not in the usual base of operations, but this is where all the editing magic happens. So, I just want to let everybody know to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff, and thank you all for helping me along this journey, gaining a lot of subscribers recently. Appreciate all of that. And with that in mind, I wanted to rewind a little bit and get into kind of the baseline of why I started things here, which is to help people in the community, help people that are new, help people that maybe not be new but still are kind of getting used to things, that don't have as many deliveries and rides for those that are doing rideshare under their belt. I had a great conversation with one of my friends, and it sparked me to realize to kind of get back to that. Now that I have some more subscribers and a little bit of a following, it's time to get back to that. So with that being said, I would like to get into dissecting some orders here. And at the very forefront, for all those new drivers out there, I want to give you guys some examples of orders that you should be taking, what you shouldn't be taking, what you should be kind of looking for pay wise versus mileage, time, all of those things. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to throw a first order up here on the screen. I'm going to cross-reference that here on my phone, but let's take a look at this first one I got here. This is an Uber Eats order. Now I do a lot of multi-apping, so you'll see Uber Eats overlaid like DoorDash or GrubHub in the background. So in this case, it's DoorDash. So we got an Uber Eats order here that I'm pretty sure I ended up declining this, but this is not a terrible offer. It's not great, but considering how late it was in the day, pretty decent. 733 for 5.3 miles. Again, the mileage ratio isn't great, and as I say that, let me get right into telling you what you should be looking for. I mean, this is very market dependent, but I will say try to be at least $1.75 a mile. Anything more than that is great. $2 or more, that's fantastic. If you're in a slow market, and if you live in an area where it's slower, like I said, it's a slow market and you have days where they're just slow days, you're gonna have to come down off that 175 a little bit. Maybe 150 per mile. For me, I don't try to go as low as $1 a mile, but that's kind of the break glass in case of emergency point. Try not to get that low. If you're taking orders that are $1 per mile, you're not going to be making a lot of money, and it's going to be very disheartening to do the job, point blank. So again, while not the best order, this is an order that you can maybe take it late at night, because the late night orders aren't usually great. So this is maybe an acceptable order for the time of day. Let's fast forward to here. Let's look at a DoorDash order here. Boom. Boom. Burger King. First of all, most Burger King orders are trash. A lot of Wendy's orders are trash. Try to stay away from Wendy's. $3, 5.1 miles. Don't ever take this under pretty much any circumstance. Literally don't. This is like 59 cents a mile. Okay, that doesn't cover your operating expenses. It just doesn't. Do not take this order ever. Don't take $3 orders. Don't take $2.50 orders. Just don't. These orders that clearly have no tip on them, do not make the mistake of taking these orders because you think you should just take it to get the ball rolling, or you should take it because, well, I haven't gotten anything in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Wait another 5 minutes, because you'll get something that's better than this, that's going to be far more worth your time. And while we're on the subject of time, focus on again, market dependent. If you're slow, market's going to be tougher, but try to shoot for $20 an hour on average. If you're in a better market, if you're in my market, if you're in this Frederick market here in this upper western part of Maryland, $25 an hour. There's no reason why you shouldn't be between 25 and 30, honestly. Some markets can be a little slower. It all depends, but shoot for $20. If you're out here, you're $13, $14 an hour. This is not gonna mark you. This is not gonna make you any money. Okay? If your market is that bad, this is maybe not something you should be doing. Or you should already have all the apps. Try to get on everything. And I've stressed this in the past in my first few videos. Uber Eats, DoorDash, GrubHub, Amazon Flex, Roadie, what else is out there? Shipped, Instacart if you have to. I don't love Instacart. I don't like it. I think it's a poor usage of time. But if you have nothing else going in your market, do Instacart. There are options out there for you. Heck, even if you have to get on rideshare. I know a lot of us haven't felt comfortable going back to it, but if it's something that's available in your market, if you can get on the platform, get on there. The options are there for you to make money. It's out there. If one app is slow, there's a good chance one of the other ones is really good in your market. At my market, GrubHub is very good. DoorDash gives you a lot of volume, but it's DoorDash. You can get a lot of trash offers, $2.50, $3, $3.50. Okay, Uber Eats is really good in my market as well. And I'm going to show you that coming up here in a second, but just get on everything. There's got to be something in your market that you can, even if you have to piece it together, build it together like Voltron if you have to, and get you out there, try to get to that $20, $25 an hour. It is obtainable. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Okay, just stay away from these bad orders, just like that Burger King order. So let's move on to the next one. Now let's take a look at a good DoorDash order. Panera. Now Panera has pretty decent orders, and you can get a Panera order in the morning. You can get them at lunchtime. You can get them in like early afternoon. There are a lot of different times you can get pretty decent Panera orders. $9, 5 miles. This is great. Take this all day, okay? And you will start to identify, unfortunately, you're going to see that DoorDash hides tips. If you haven't heard already, they hide tips. I identified that this might be a hidden tip. Now, granted, this is an order I would take anyway. I don't need it to have a hidden tip, but I look at the item count, I look at the subtotal, and this might have a hidden tip. And it did. It ended up being $10.99, I think, which is an odd, amount. Basically $11. So effectively, extra $2 on this. $11 for 5 miles is excellent. Take that all day. Don't even hesitate. Just like I said, it's 9 for 5. Take that. That's a good order. Move right on to the next one, because this order got stacked on top of that Panera order. Kava, 5 items. Now it had a hidden tip. It was like 2 cents. Okay, it was silly. I don't know why DoorDash does this. It's weird. The algorithm just doesn't make sense. $6 for an extra 2.8 miles. Okay, the tip was $4.02 because it's a stack, so the base pay is decreased when they stack an order. So keep that in mind. $6 for 2.8 miles. That's already going the similar direction that I'm going. I'm gonna take that all day, because now what was originally a $9 order, plus the hidden tip, which bumped it up to 11, plus the 6, now we're looking at $17 for effectively the same amount of time, because the restaurant's in a very close proximity, like half a mile away from each other. Okay, so gotta pay attention to stuff like that, because now I kicked this up to making $17 in like 15 minutes. You can't beat that. All right, that's excellent usage of time for what I got paid there. Let's move on to the next one, and this is a big one here that I kind of want to close out this session here with. Uber Eats. Look at this order. Now, $14.12 was the offer. 23 minutes. Now that already is a great usage of time. Okay, 23 minutes, getting $14 for 23 minutes is very good. Okay, so extrapolate that, it's over $30 an hour. I don't feel like doing the math, it's late. Okay, I apologize. But 7.9 miles. Now keep in mind, when you get an Uber Eats offer and they estimate to you the time and the mileage, that is inclusive of the time from exactly the point where you are when you get the ping. That includes the time and mileage it takes you to get to the restaurant, and then the mileage that it takes you to get to the customer. All of that's included. So let's say it takes you a mile, 2 miles to get to the restaurant from where you are. That's subtracted from this total. So if we're calling this 8 miles, it takes you a mile to get to the restaurant. That means the drop off to the customer is 7 miles. So again, this was a good order. I ended up taking this. It's a good order for me because it ended up being like the last order I did in this shift, if you will, the time I decided I wanted to be out for the day. And I ended up getting tipped more on this. The payout on this ended up being, I think it was like $16.60, which is excellent for 8 miles. Travel time to the customer from the restaurant, it was definitely less than 8 miles. It was closer to like a little bit less than 7. So excellent pay for $16, almost 17. I'll take that all day. Keep in mind also that Uber Eats is very different with how they structure their tips versus GrubHub and DoorDash. DoorDash and GrubHub show you their offers with the tip included, and it can't be changed after the fact. DoorDash says, oh, the customer can change its tip. That's true and it isn't true. They can, but they have to call support, and it's a whole process for them to actually add on to a tip once the order is complete. So nobody ever does that. Ever. Okay? Now on Uber Eats, it's very different. Uber Eats gives the customer an hour after the delivery is completed to change their tip. Now, there are people out there that say they have been tip baited, which means the order estimate comes through and people end up pulling their tip out completely after the order is complete. Now, I will tell you, in my experience, that has not happened to me in the few hundred Uber Eats orders that I've delivered. I feel like that kind of stuff happens under a couple of circumstances. One, depending on where you're delivering to and the area. Let's call a spade, okay? If you're delivering to an unsavory area, that might happen to you. Or second, I don't even remember. The thought completely just gone. Maybe I'll remember, but there's a second thing I had there. I promise it was useful. But with all that said, the Uber Eats tip structure is very different from the other two platforms. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind that service is very important when you're doing Uber Eats. It's important across the board, but with Uber Eats, you have the potential to gain more on your tip. Okay, so be timely, be efficient, and just follow the instructions. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just follow the instructions. Leave at door, leave it at door. Hand to customer, hand it to customer. Leave it at make it go up the driveway and go. Just do it. Just follow. Just as long as it's not crazy, something stupid that they want you to do. Just follow instructions, and you might get more than you
were estimated to get. And I still don't remember the thing. I'm not going to remember. Let's just chalk that up. Let's move on. Listen, these platforms can get you good money. Okay, if there's something you decide you want to do part-time, maybe you want to bridge a gap to something you're working on, maybe you want to do it full-time while you bridge that gap. Yeah, you can do that. You use these proper strategies that are out there. And again, I'm one of a few dozen people that are out here trying to help everybody as a community be smarter. Be smarter with what orders you take and what orders you don't take. Because there's a lot of orders that get taken that just shouldn't. Let's stop. As a whole, as a community, we should not be taking these no-tip $2, $2.50, $3 orders that come up on DoorDash. We just shouldn't be. Okay, there's no reason for it. Don't take $3 orders at 6-7 miles. Just don't do it. You want to be in a good range. If you see something $7, 4 miles, $7, 3 miles, just go ahead and take that. Knock it out real quick. It's going to take you like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Go ahead and knock that out. Get to the next one. You might get a stack where you're now delivering 2 orders. Okay. Just be smarter. That's it. So, with all of that said, I thank y'all again, and again to all the new drivers out there. Follow these very clear tips. Get on, watch these other YouTubers. I'm sure if you've stumbled across this channel, you know of the other ones: DoorDash Dad, Pedro DoorDash Santiago, More Finance, and Gig Lebowski, and UDM, and Kim Side Money Plans. Hannibal is Hungry, and I'm sure at some point in time you got here by stumbling across one of those other channels, and thank you for stumbling this way. But if you haven't, I'm sure there's something there for you, because we're all out here trying to do effectively the same thing. We all have different ways of going about it, but the blueprint is largely the same. Let's be smart with the orders we take, and don't take no-tip orders. Just don't. There's no reason for it, except GrubHub. Because one, sometimes it's harder to decipher, but you know what the minimums are. Like I know Gig Lebowski in his area, he said the minimums for his GrubHub no-tip orders are like $7. In my market, it's $6. And depending on how far it's going, that's still good, but I don't take those either because, no tip. So, sorry, not sorry. All right, well, I've rambled on long enough. But again, this is here what it is, and take this information and make good use of it. I appreciate you guys for checking me out, and go ahead and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out, my most recent video. Make sure you check out a video that the platform says is for you. And that's it. It's Dashing with Flash. Thank you. Peace out. Check you guys next time.